Guys, every good defense starts with a bunch of rough, tough defensive tackles up front, and that's exactly what the Carolina Panthers have as we move forward in this position preview. Let's talk about those guys up front and what they mean to this team.
I mean, it's as good a group as there is in the league, Mike, and it is a great place to build a defense around. I mean, K'Wan Short had an amazing year last year at defensive tackle, racking up 11 sacks, tied for the NFL lead at his position. Starlin Tulele continued to do what he does, clog up the middle, eat up double teams, open it up for the linebackers behind him, and that's just the beginning of this position group.
Oh, beginning indeed, because you have two guys, two veterans backing up those front two guys that really contribute.
Yeah, well, of course, we know a little bit about Kyle Love. He's been a contributor here in Carolina for a little bit now, and they've been really happy with what he's brought to the table, bringing him back into the fold again for 2016. The new face, as far as the veterans, is Paul Soliai. This is a guy you might be familiar with from his time in Atlanta, playing for the division rivals, and was an impact player for a while. Signed a really nice contract after his days in Miami, was a really highly sought-after defensive tackle, one of those space-eating types. And now he comes to Carolina and can play kind of that rotational role, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he performs behind guys like KK and Starr. This is a guy a little bit older into his career, so be able to limit his snaps should increase his effectiveness. It's a really deep group that he's only going to make even stronger.
Well, going into the draft, Dave Gettleman said, we will take the best available player. We get Vernon Butler, who is a top-flight defensive tackle, was highly rated in the draft. Now you add him to the mix. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, Mike, the way you put it. I mean, it already seemed like a position that had been stabilized, bringing in Soliai in the offseason. And then you add this guy who, you know, the coaches have not been too hesitant to compare to KK Short. You know, huge guy, Big Vern is his nickname, but doesn't move like his size would indicate. Very quick, very nimble feet, and you know, I can just imagine, you know, some third down scenarios where him and KK are in there together. It's exciting to think about.
That's scary. And Max, try to project forward. I know we're staying in the present now, but you look at working with Eric Washington and Sam Mills III over the next season or so in a weight program in the NFL. What will this guy be like?
It's exciting to think about. We just don't know right now. Of course, you always get excited thinking about what the future's going to hold. Here's what we do know about Vernon Butler. He's going to need to work on some technique. Eric Washington's been working with him on his hands, his footwork, and that's all well and good. But the first day he stepped foot in Bank of America Stadium, he had something you couldn't teach, and that's the size and the athleticism Brian alluded to. And when you've got a guy that you can bring in 6'4", 323 pounds, you know you've got someone you can work with. And again, he's going to be learning behind some really good defensive tackles, and we'll see. That group is a frightening one for opposing offensive lines, I'll tell you that much.
No doubt. And we'll move outside to defensive ends right here on Panthers.com.